The impact of Chariots with patch 8.1.
Use an Orc Warboss. You wanna crush some humans. Why? Cause that's fun. Wait, you need another reason? Cause it makes your win better. And that's fun. This is Youz Story.
Okay, that's quite enough of that. I innocently kept covering chariot mounts, stubbornly future-proofing for the day we had them implemented in-game for the Greenskins. So this will be a surface-level overview of just the chariot mounts, so we go over the impact for your games and how you can use them to great effect. Result? Crushed humies and lots of mocking laughter by you. So, let's go through the lords and their chariots so you know what you're getting. The Orc Warboss on a Chariot costs 300 upkeep per turn with 5,244 health default. Armor is 80, which isn't too bad, and from a frontal arc, the Warboss's shield blocks 55% of small arms fire even while on the Chariot, a tremendous advantage. Missile resistance 15% is default too. Leadership of 70 is decent, not overwhelming. Speed 70 and charge speed 104 means this is one of the slower chariots around. Melee attack 42 is in pitched combat, where the Warboss animation can hit a broader number of targets from the back. Attack interval 4 seconds, splash cut size very large, means most any multi-entity target will be splashed. Max targets taking HP damage from pitched melee is 4. More can be tossed around, 4 will take actual damage. Melee defense starts at 26. This is low, but is not the lowest. But that's how chariots roll, har har. Weapon strength of 370 is very high for most chariots, though not the highest. Split base 140 and armor piercing 230, nice and anti-armor. Bonus versus infantry is a whopping 30. Charge bonus is 80, and mass is 1200, which feels unusually low for the type. Nonetheless, against infantry, even pitched melee is going to be absolutely brutal, so this lord can hold his own. How you should think of collision attacks is that they exist parallel to the attack roll using the massive charge bonus, and basically does extra damage based on speed and momentum to units struck, going far beyond the huge initial bite. The Warboss retains his momentum better than boar chariot units, because units often get one chariot stuck, pulling the unit back in and making clean charges much harder, while the Warboss rolls over fewer entities and thus less mass, punching through units more easily and positioning as he pleases, more or less. Point being, bonus versus infantry 30 is massive and minimal babying, and this guy will be very dangerous in both phases, the collision and the melee. Now, what does this mean in campaign? The Warboss unlocks his chariot at rank 10, as in he does now for real, not just in theory. The War Boar was at rank 6, and the Wyvern comes at rank 15. That means 5 ranks where he's way more dangerous to infantry than in other guises. Warbosses have easy access to big weapon strength buffs, Foe Seeker, Deadly Onslaught, and Devastating Charge for plus 30 flat charge bonus, which makes your bite against a narrower range of targets much stronger. Lords don't benefit from the techs that help greenskin units, nor from scrap, but hey, item rework means some juicy stuff on that front. The other lord type receiving a chariot is the Goblin Great Shaman, getting the Goblin Wolf Chariot. Also rolling with 300 gold upkeep, this lord goes around with 4,246 health, which seems like a lot less, but let's remind ourselves, yes, it is the Little Waagh, but this is a spellcaster on a mobile mount. Armor is 45 with no shield to be had, 15% basic missile resistance. Leadership of 55 is much shakier than the Orc, but you probably don't want him in pitch melee for long anyway, not when things go south. Speed 90 and charge speed 108 is stupidly fast, and this is not a multi-entity unit, it's a hugely mobile single entity. Melee attack 14 is shockingly low even considering this is a spellcaster. Attack interval 4 seconds, very large splash target size, and max targets HP damaged of 3, so that's narrower. Melee defense is the shockingly low figure of 10. Weapon strength of 250 is nothing to brag about, and damage is split base 180, armor piercing 70. Having said that, there is a bonus versus infantry of 30. 30! So even though the defense is garbage, he will connect with an Empire Swordsman a lot of the time, despite being a caster. Charge bonus of 70 is only 10 less than the Boar Chariot, and mass is 1,000. While this means his best use in melee is absolutely as a hit-and-run cycle charging specialist, you do not want him caught in melee. This is nonetheless only 200 less mass and a substantial boost in speed. Huge boost in speed. A spellcaster able to get around this well and this mobile, and this agile, is a treasure. The Great Shaman also gets his Chariot mount at rank 10, and this is now his mobile command post until the Big Bad Spider Shrine at rank 16. Awesome as that mount is, this is a far better way to get around, occasionally bonk stuff, and buff, debuff, and moon your foes in very bad ways. Now, you must be wondering, what about the Tech Tree Lords? Oglok the Orrible is built exactly like every other war boss in terms of his skill unlocks, and that means he now gets this mount in campaign. Raknik can get a Wolf Chariot too. That's great! What does it mean? Oglok's special background trait, the Orrible, doesn't provide anything really special to him, but what you need to be aware of is that he gives a gigantic plus 50% charge bonus for Orc Boar units, and Boar Chariots are considered Orc Boar units for this purpose. Moreover, I do believe everything gets plus 15% mass, including Oglok. Well, definitely him. The Tech Tree grants glorious charge and more mass for even longer charge bonus duration, and the Chariots can get scrap upgrades to help, so this is the definitive general for Orc Charioteering. Raknik isn't meant to do the same thing, so what you're getting is simply a very mobile Raknik who can plop down spider hatchlings in inconvenient places from a high-speed mount, and that's great until you get his spider mount where his true power lies. Now, as for how you optimally play these lords in battle, well, like I said, the Shamans have the Little Waagh to rely on heavily, but in both cases, there is absolutely no rule that says you need to use the lords with similar units. Shamans can absolutely cleave into infantry as the first hit before wolf riders slam in, or spider riders if it's Raknik. A warboss can lead the way for boar boys, biggins. Both cases can bail out melee troops against non-anti-large troops, but need to be wary of worst-case scenarios against Humi and elf blades on long sticks. Finally, the real key is to remember this isn't simply about damage and kills. It's about disruption. Just being annoying and knocking down infantry like bowling pins helps your forces position and slaughter. So do that. Be cheeky, be bold as needed, and not just smash, but bog down and smash with something else when backs are turned. Wolf Chariots, I know they're not everybody's cup of tea, but at the very least, the unit works much better when it's cycle charging an engaged opponent, not dealing with bracing infantry. Way back I was doing a video with Orc Biggins, and I had a Beast Lord on a Chariot going after them, and it was very, very hard for the Biggins to actually get hits in. They were getting knocked down even though they are big ends, they have larger mass, they even had for the attack a bonus versus large, mild as it is, but they don't have charge defense versus large when braced. So this Beast Lord was just rolling all over them. And that took place for a while until the Beast Lord got tired, slowed down, charges less effective, got bogged down, and then got beaten. So be aware of fatigue, be very wary of slowing down, but you will still have this effect, especially with Orc Warbosses, to a smaller degree, literally and figuratively, with the Goblins. In all of these cases, Chariot back is not what you want to outright duel characters with, though characters on foot will get hit a lot. These are specialized tools, respect the limitations, and you can smash harder and faster and win better. And that's what it's all about. Take care, and have fun crashing into Order Tide trash like you're some kinda speed freak.